Okay, here are the predictions from an Iranian clairvoyant, and he talks mainly about USA. This Iranian prophet, many Russians remember due to the show Battle of Psychics. He differed from all the rest of participants that he did not use any magical tools in order to complete his task. He just was going through his rosary beads with his fingers and praying, and then he correctly answered all questions in all the tests. For this project, Mohsen Norouzi happened to participate by chance. He wasn't interested in entertainment, but higher power insisted. Mohsen had a vision that after participation in that program he will move to Russia and will be able to help to many people. So it occurred. The clairvoyant is now living in Russia, and he's doing his favorite thing in the world, and from time to time he makes predictions for the whole world globally. His new prediction about Russia, USA, and conflict with Ukraine deserve special attention. Choice for Russia. It's not a secret that now it is an active reshaping of the world is going on. Many think that in February 2022, Russia attacked neighboring country, which, by the way, during 8 years had a civil war at its southeast with people who did not want to accept the state coup. Mohsen Norouzi already in 2014 could foresee the current events. He said that there will come time when Russia will no longer tolerate destruction of Russian-speaking people in Ukraine, which live in the east of that country, and it will go into conflict, into direct conflict. The prophet warned that the divine has prepared for Russia a serious trial. If Russians will leave everything as it is, they will disappear as a nation. If they come against all the world, insisting on their truth, then Russia will be not only a great nation, then those who will rule the world. And he turned out to be right. Our country has made the right choice and didn't succeed into their influence from the West, and they came into conflict with half of the world without being afraid of the sanction. First, of course, everybody was scared. Also, President was, because he took this hard decision, and also simple people were scared. But now we see that we were right, and the testing by the higher powers is what we passed. And now Russia is expected to have a new stage of development. According to Iranian prophet, Russia has very powerful positive energy due to many places of power and the locations there people prayed a lot. The Creator himself helps Russia and its people. Now, this conflict between Russia and the Western world is followed by all the world. Countries and peoples making their own conclusions, and many give their preference to Russia. When the conflict is over, as many other prophets, Mohsen Norouzi doesn't give exact dates. The thing is that the time is speeding up at times and then it slows down. If the event is meant to occur, then it will occur, but you shouldn't tie it to the timeline, and because everything changes too fast nowadays. The military conflict will end with signing peace agreement, but this will only happen when the current president of Ukraine will leave his position. How he will do it, it doesn't matter, but he can willingly leave his post, or he can be killed, or he can be impeached. The main point is that as soon as he leaves, the situation changes drastically. The new head of that state will be a reasonable person. He will be supported by people, but with the highest power of statesman, he will not be liked, and they will try to hinder him. In spite of the difficulties, the new president will be able to agree with Russia. Neighboring country will be divided into parts, and the military action will stop and the peace will prevail. Only the smallest part of Ukraine will keep its sovereignty. The rest of the territory will be split by the neighbors. Russia will join in the loyal population locations of that Ukraine country, which has been tired from the chaos which was due to their own government and total desolation. Second Civil War. This is the title, the Second Civil War. According to the words of Iranian prophet, the USA has very little time left to be the ruler of the world. American powers made huge mistakes in their trying to control everything and everywhere. They just separated from their own citizens. They are not interested in the problems that are happening inside the country, but the simple people of that country whose lifestyle became worse by many times can perfectly see where the billions of dollars are going. Their patience will soon evaporate. Already, and very soon, USA will face very powerful social protests. The revolutionary mood will take over several states. They would like to receive their independence and build their own economy. American power Washington will miss the moment when they would be able to agree with their people on good terms. On their usual habit, they will start to solve the problem by force. As a result of this, USA will face the second civil war. This will lead that the American will lose its leadership and the economy will fail as it bursts in a bubble, and the dollar will not be convertible currency anymore. This is where it's heading to, the chaos in Europe. Without its honor, which dictated its condition, European countries will also fade into desolation. They were playing chess too much on other territories. Simple people already last year felt that their quality of life drastically worsened, but they didn't see any support from their government. The life will only get worse and worse. According to Mohsen Norouzi, first the French will rebel. The real revolution will happen in France, and then other countries will follow. European Union will fall apart as a house of cards. All today's unions will cease to exist. They will fall apart fast and loud, but they will create another unions because many countries will understand that they cannot survive by their own, only united. They will be able to continue to exist. The most interesting is that parts of European states will express their wish to unite with Russia. Other prophets predicted that too. So his basically idea that USA government has already missed that moment because they didn't hear their own people, and they will face the civil war now. Of course, each of those freaks in Washington will be killed.